All right, all set. We're recording. Praise the Lord.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the May 2nd, 2017 public meeting of Advisory Neighborhood Commission 6E. I am the chair, Alexander Pondro. I will ask the secretary to call the roll.
Sure. 6E01.
Present.
6E02.
Present.
6E03.
Present.
6E04 is present. 6E05.
Present.
6E06.
Present.
6E07.
Present.
Great. We have a full house, I'm going to be able to say, and a quorum to conduct official business. Commissioners, I call your attention to the agenda before you, and if you have any suggested changes or corrections or additions, please note that. I entertain a motion to approve the agenda as printed.
So moved. Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Who said second? I'm sorry.
It was Tony Brown.
It was Tony.
So as always, we start our meetings out with our friends from the Metropolitan Police Department, so we can get them back on the street. I see Marco Santiago in the back. Do we have any? Oh, there we go, right in front. You're wearing white, so looking for blue. I'm not used to all this white. It's different.
Good evening. Lieutenant Nevins is on Captain Scott. He's detailed to read in the next 4 months or so. And he'll be able to assist us as a team. So what questions might you have in reference to 308 or 305?
So I know the hot issue in the past couple of days has been the 600 block of O Street, ongoing activity, including public consumption of alcohol, and we're obviously very concerned that we not end up with the kind of situation we had a couple of years ago where Ms. Bliss lost her life because of the activities that were taking place there. There have been constituents that have been calling to try to get MTD's assistance in addressing this, and I know that resources are limited and it's difficult to justify, making arrests for what are deemed low-level offenses, but I think we need to come up with an action plan. And I know that in the past we've successfully, and I can't remember which program it was, but I know that rooms had facilitated the red signs that
Was
were
it
posted.
drug-free zone signs, I believe?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. And that with some appropriate deployment of personnel, that was very effective in controlling the activity on that block specifically. I mean, they're just focusing on that one block. When the weather gets warmer, that block starts jumping, and it's remarkable, if you look at the license plates of the people that come there, I would say 90% of them are not from the district. So I don't know what it is, whether there's an app to promote outdoor parties or what it is. Come Saturday nights, boom.
I'll tell you what
they
it
flood.
is. I used to work in 7D, right, MLK Park, and you would see a lot of Maryland tags. It's people who are from that area who go back to their home roots.
Right.
So that's what you're dealing with, even with 7th and Low. People who left, went to Maryland, whether you call it gentrification, whatever you want to terminology. But the bottom line is this, right? A lot of people gravitate to where they're from. All right? I started back in this district in 1992 as an officer. It is 25 years later. Let me just say this, right? This area looks a lot better than it ever did, right? And this is what gets me sometimes, right? If you know me, anybody here been to any other meetings or been in the community with me, right? This is business for me. Period. This is strictly business, right? And at some point, I shouldn't, but I take some of this stuff personal. It's crime. People coming on my beat, I call it my beat, right? And drinking and all the rest of this stuff, right? But what you have to realize is this, right? You have a different department than you did 20-something years ago. You have new officers, right, who have not even begun to expand their wings to what it should be, whether it be the community receiving them like they should or not with Ferguson and all these other jurisdictions that you deal with in reference to the police encounters, right? I'll make no excuses for Saturday, because if I was there, it'd been handled a lot different. But I don't work 24 hours a day. I work an 8-hour shift, and actually I work in the morning, 5 o'clock, like 1 in the afternoon. So like today, I'm working almost a double, because I want to come. I want to send Bergeron or some sergeant for you to ask them, well, what happened? I'm going to tell you what happened, right? And I'm going to tell you what happened once I've done my preliminaries. I just talked to 2 officers that worked on Saturday, and the rest of them on day off, right? So the point is, I haven't gotten to everybody to find out, well, what happened with this? Why didn't you do this? The sergeant as well. So once I gather that information from them, I hope that meeting that we have probably after Memorial Day, we can find something early to give you as to where I stand on it. Whether it be bar notices from Gibson Plaza, right? Security was there, but guess what? And then them come out the building and just did like this. If they did, they would saw this extension cord that's going to their jukebox hanging from their building. So I called Barnes today and told him, excuse me, I'm looking at the video at Gibson, and guess what? None of your officers came out here and said, give me that. Shut it down just like that. But our officers didn't do as great a job as I would have done if I had been there supervising. So that's a learning curve, and that's something I'm working on. And as soon as I get everything, talk to all these officers. I went to roll call today, and I let them have what I thought should have occurred. Okay? So you can believe this. Every day you see me, it's business. I got 4 months left, and until that day, I will do my job every day I come to work. And just like I sent that email to you guys, I want the same confidence, right, that you give to the mayor or whoever else in reference to doing their job. Because guess what? I'm here to do mine. All right? And just like I told them in the roll call, when a person is drinking, smoking, and I see him and nothing is done, that's disrespect. And I take it personally. So that's what I'm going to relate to my life. Right? Zero tolerance. And the wagon you'll see Saturday on one of the corners, so the first person to tell us what they ain't going to do, right? They're going to be right in the back of it. And hopefully you can call 911 and say, oh, they're drinking out here so you can help support us when they start screaming how we harass them and just messing with them. That's how they do. Nobody called you. Give us the calls. Call us. Call us. That's what we need. We need you to keep calling too. Or also keep going back for. Somebody going one day say, well, what's going on? How come nobody addressed that problem? You got 3 calls for it. So that's how this system works. You all have to be a part of it. The solution too. Anything happens in this PSA, we all accountable. I don't like your MPD now. We're a team. And that's how I want it to be, a team. Anything you need from me, ask me. I will give you straight up how I feel about it. Right? You get nothing less. And that's how I operate. I've been doing that for the last 25 years in July.
I hope that I can speak on behalf of my colleagues and say that we accept that responsibility and look forward to being your partner to try to solve the problem.
And thank you, because you got my full support, trust me. All right? Unwavering.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Believe it or not, you know what? I'll get you one round probably before the end of the week.
Okay, good.
All right? Anything you want to say, Top?
Well, I wasn't going to speak, but I will. This is actually my second stint in the 3rd District. I started off as a captain in the 3rd District when the substation was up here. And I was the captain over the 3rd District. I've been on the job now for 35 years. I came over from the 7th District because Captain Marco went over to the 7th District on the Summer Crime Initiative. I concur with what Lieutenant Mayor said. The way the business was handled could have been done better. We always have room for improvement. What we've done on this particular occasion, we actually had a communication gap. What we didn't communicate out was what it is that we wanted to have done, and that's what led to how we got to where we got to. The ultimate responsibility of getting things done lies in myself. The officers get the successes, I take the failures. And I take that challenge on, with no bars intended, no holes. I hold myself totally accountable for what happens. And I was talking to Lieutenant Nutter earlier today, just like I said, I just got back here about 2 weeks ago. But we have a new, younger breed of officer. So the responsibility of breeding them, training them, bringing them up to speed, getting them ready, getting them prepared, show them how to do, active policing, proactive policing, not reactive policing. Show them how to actually take the initiative when things are not going like they need to be going. Delivering a decent policing service, falls on me. Falls on me. Okay. So what we have to do is we have to do a better job. Plain and simple. Because it should have never gotten that far. You understand what I mean? Never. Plain and simple. But the things that I've seen, because I've been quiet since I've gotten back, I kind of look and I watch and I see areas how we need to improve, things we need to improve upon, deliverance of service. I believe in the marketing approach to policing as opposed to the selling approach. I don't want to just give you something. I want to know what it is you want, and I want to tell it at police services around what we need to do and how to get it done. Okay? So that's pretty much my way. And as opposed to me just sitting here, I'm going to open up that floor so that you guys have a chance to talk back as opposed to just flipping out information on that.
So my question is, how often does this type of activity take place in other parts of the city? How do they deal with it? Has it been successful, and can it be repeated here?
Yeah. I'm gonna start, but then I'm gonna let you finish out. It's one of those sort of things that actually the folks seem to be communicating across, like social networking. When they communicate across social networking, what we generally do with things like that that are problematic, we'll have our intel monitor social networking, where the next event is going to occur, how it's going to occur, what they expect it to happen. And what we do is we get ahead of the curve. So when we get ahead of the curve, we put something in place like we have the officers out there prior to the beginning, which is what we should have done in this occasion, right? They should have been there and entrenched prior to the beginning. So before it even got started, it should have been stopped. Because everybody understands and everybody knows, and this is just training, and I had to look at it myself through DBR, as far as like drilling and whatnot, because I haven't been as familiar with it as, because I haven't had that much exposure to it recently. Charcoal grilling and grilling on parks, recreational centers is illegal. Plain and simple, just can't do it. Drinking in public is unlawful, just can't do it. Smoking weed in public is just unlawful, you just plain and simply can't do it. Now, whether we do it through actually making summary arrests, or if we do it through issuing citation violations and whatnot, but the other thing is we need to partner better with DPR. We should have partnered better with that private security that was working over there at the department building that was funding, giving these guys electricity. We should have been reaching out to all of those entities. All those entities. And we should have actually gotten all together with those things, partnered up with those guys, and done a better job.
So do we need to do we have a plan to meet with Gibson Plaza Security?
All right, I'll talk to Wallace today.
Yeah.
So, we'll have a phone conference at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Okay. So yeah, that's something that we're working on. And the gentleman that actually worked on the security guys to get to the plaza is a retired DC guy.
Yeah. And he got all
Barnes. Barnes was here when I was here last time. But he's really good with the guys over there. He's really familiar with the area as well. So that should actually be something that should be a positive project to me. I see it as being nothing but good. Anybody else? Yes.
Captain Scott, got a couple questions. But the first question is, how do you feel about, the organizers of that event, adults, serving alcohol, possibly likely to minors? And how would you address that in any other situation when there are adults serving alcohol publicly to minors and juveniles?
I don't condone inappropriate behavior. Plain and simple. It's just wrong. It's right is right, wrong is wrong.
How do you address it? So you see
Wait a
me.
minute. He goes to jail.
Goes to jail.
Plain and simple.
Correct.
Next question.
So part of the gathering, in the past, they have a cookout, they have these grills. Can't grill in public space. If you guys have to have a battalion chief from our fire station come over and remove the grills, we need you to do that.
Yeah, no problem.
and squash
But that's
that part of it.
But then, that's just as I was saying before, utilizing the resources available to us in order to get the job done effective, efficient, and equitable. If we have a tool, use the tool. You understand what I mean? Policing is policing. Fire is fire. Everybody holds their own, but we are inclusive with all the agencies. We reach out to them, we partner with them, we use those resources so that we can deliver a better product. That's all it's about. So we do DPR, we do security, we do fire department, we do DCRA, we do everybody. You understand? So, because the outcome is supposed to be the outcome that we project it to be. We want a good outcome. We don't want inappropriate behavior to occur within the community. So what we do is we combat it. We use all the resources we got, everyone. So we don't, I look at it in this analogy, I do not want a carpenter to do plumber's work. You understand what I mean? Plain and simple.
Okay, appreciate that. Alex, related to that, can DPW change the parking restrictions for that area so that we don't have non-residents parking there after a certain time? Is that at all possible? And
So it's DDOT, and
Right.
we'd have to take a look at and see what makes sense there. It's not likely that we can put residential restrictions there because no one lives on that side of the street, and that's a requirement. But we can certainly look to see if there are some modifications that can be made.
great. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I want to piggyback on what you were saying as far as the relationship between Metropolitan Police and DPR. Now that the weather is getting warmer, the guys are getting a water
Yes.
on the Kennedy Playground.
Mhm.
Easter, we had Easter event,
Yes.
the 21st. And it was about 12 guys smoking marijuana, whatever they smoke.
Mhm.
We had like 100 and some children,
Understood.
okay? The secondary smoke was all over the place.
Agreed.
It's getting worse, okay? From 10 o'clock in the morning until late evening, you need to pay attention to the situation. I thought we had cleaned it up a year or two ago, but apparently it's back again.
Mhm.
I think you need to pay serious attention to that area, or it's gonna get out of hand.
And I agree. And I'll tell you something that we actually did today. We got in contact with the people over at Department of Parks and Recreation. We got a number, which is a 24/7 number. Yeah. So we actually got a contact person over there now that we can deal with, who can assist when we have those sort of issues going like that, who can send a representative out, who can actually assist the police department with making sure that what needs to actually be addressed or violations that need to be enforced, how we enforce them, what we need to do, who we need to actually include. So yeah, those are things that works now, because we have to actually do proactive policing.
Sure.
We have to prepare for what's coming, because we all know that summer policing, spring policing, and winter policing are different things. Certain things that actually occur in summer may not occur in the winter months. So we have to do those kind of things so we get ourselves prepared, so that when we go do the policing action, we do the policing action right.
Okay. Also, once a month, we have a Friends of Kennedy Playground meeting. I'm gonna invite you
Sure.
to one of the meetings, so you can talk to us, talk to the board,
Okay.
in reference to what is really going on at the Kennedy Playground.
Okay.
We don't want to repeat what we did once upon a time.
Okay.
We want to nip it in the bud.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll be more than happy if you send it to me, make sure before I leave today,
Sure.
you'll get my contact information. Send it to myself and we get it better. I don't want to get him out of the way, I don't want to get him out the loop.
No,
You
that's
understand what I'm
gonna
saying?
stay in
Because
the-
he's gonna be here a little,
Okay.
but while I'm here with you guys, the only thing I'm interested in doing is doing a decent job.
Sure.
Plain and simple,
Okay,
you
thank
know,
you.
and developing some decent relationships. Anybody else have anything?
What's your email address?
Gary, GERRY, .Scott, SCOTT, @dc.gov.
Okay, thank you.
Please feel free, if you have some information you want to share with me, or you want to, yeah, one.
Right. At first, in Kenny, in the parking lot, old parking lot of the Walker Jones place, old playground, there's a couple stolen cars up in there, they haven't, nobody moved them.
Uh-huh.
And they're sitting up now, there's one car down there sitting up on blocks.
Okay.
So was wondering if anybody make a complaint on the place, but I don't think they did.
Did you? Did you call?
No, I had some neighbors of mine call in, but I don't,
First in K Iceman.
yeah.
I put in a 311 request last week about it.
Oh, did you?
About the cars
Oh,
on the
okay.
block.
First in K.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't, it was never, the ticket was not addressed.
It wasn't addressed?
No,
Yeah,
the tickets.
We, our tenants use it now for parking, and somebody, set a car in there on blocks, it's running fast.
I'm not sure, but I believe that's one. First
Wendy.
Yeah, I think it is one.
Yeah, that's why I don't have it.
Yeah.
We'll get it to them first in K.
But what we'll do is, what we'll do is, on that one, we'll do facilitate. So what we'll do is we'll transfer that information over to Wendy, make sure they have somebody come out and do what they got to do with it, right? So we can actually see who gets something done with it.
Somebody missing a brand new car, I tell you that. much.
Is it? They must not be that concerned about it, right? It's been sitting there for a while?
They've been sitting there almost a month.
Alex, real quick, one thing. What I heard was that as much as we want to be sympathetic to Miss Bliss, that she lost her daughter during one of the shooting at one of these 600 block parties, she was one of the adults at the event last weekend, organized by her son
Nephew.
and nephew, and they were serving alcohol and could have been serving alcohol to minors. That memorial is a mockery to us all. We've got to get DPW just to sweep it off the area.
She said she's not doing anything that's
ridiculous.
made.
Thank you.
Anybody else have anything? All right. Well, hey, let me do this. I certainly appreciate you guys having us here. Hopefully we provided you guys with some information that will be helpful to you. I've left my email address. Anybody who wants to pass on information to me, please feel free. Please feel free. I'm accessible, and what you see is what I really am. I don't do facades. I don't do a lot of tap dancing. I don't do a whole lot of other food, but I do good police work. And I've been doing it for 35 years, so I know I'm good at it. All right? Thank you, folks. Have a great night.
Thank you, Captain and Lieutenant. Do we have anyone from 1D or 5D this evening? I guess not. So we'll move on to 1529 8th Street Northwest. This is a request for support for a Board of Zoning adjustment application for a special exception to allow construction of the rear addition and the roof deck. Owner Harry Hunt. If you please identify yourself for the record.
Sure, I am Gail Worsley, I'm the architect. You guys, these are the ones I passed out last time, but would you like to take a look?
Please.
No worries. Think I'm going
If not, we can share.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, you guys share, I got one more left, I apologize.
Okay, real short. We saw this last month.
Most of you were here last time, but I'll run through the stats of it. This property is located behind Jefferson Market Apartments. And the gentleman who owns it has a deck, it's probably about 27 inches off of grade. He would like to enclose that existing deck and do a rooftop deck. It's one story with a rooftop deck, just to gain some privacy. With the building construction, he's gotten a lot more traffic in that alley than he used to have, and he has neighbors that can peer down at his grade level deck and walk by and, you know, say hi to him while he's out there. So he just likes to raise it up a little bit more just for some additional privacy. It does put him over his lot occupancy. He is currently with the deck non-conforming rear yard. So those are his variances that he's asking for. He's pretty significantly over. He's at 79% for the, as opposed to 60% with the enclosure of that deck. So we're asking for the support just based on the privacy. We know we're asking for a lot, but it would make his lot much more enjoyable. You know, he's not complaining about the difference and, you know, some idling cars and things, but he just would like to have a little bit more privacy.
So the property is in my single-member district. I consulted with the neighbors. I believe there are letters of support from the two adjacent property owners
Yes.
that are in support. And I can't recall right now whether or not the Civic Association supported it or just, whether they took a formal action to support it or whether they just generally supported it. But there has been no objection that's been raised to it. We don't know whether or not the BZA will grant that additional, relief, but I'm comfortable that there's community support for it, and I would move that Advisory Neighborhood Commission 6E support the application for zoning relief to construct the new deck at 1529 8th Street Northwest, and then we communicate that support to the Board of Zoning Adjustment. It's been properly moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Anything
Who
from the
seconded
public?
it? I'm sorry, I can't see.
Tony.
Mr. Brown, did you want to make any comments from the committee perspective?
No, I think we went over this on last Thursday, and, unanimously, we've all agreed that we can definitely support it.
Great, thank you so much.
All right. If there are no other questions, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous. Thank you very much. We'll get that
Would you like to
correspondence
keep
out.
those, so you're welcome to, or, okay, thank you. You guys have a good evening, thank you so much.
All right. Moving on to Rito Loco, 606 Teeth Street Northwest. Are there representatives here? If not, why don't we move on and come back to that in case people are stuck in traffic. Chaplains, 1501 9th Street Northwest. Bless you. Any representatives from Chaplains here this evening? We'll give them the courtesy of coming back to them to see if those applicants arrive. French Quarter Brasserie and Oyster Bar, 1544 9th Street Northwest. Great. This is a request for support for a public space application for a new unenclosed cafe at a new establishment at this address in Q. So if you'd be so kind as to identify yourself for the record.
Lance Marino with the property ownership.
Proceed.
So we are proposing to add just traditional outdoor seating with a fence that matches the mirrors of the neighborhood.
So, I'm sorry, some folks may not be aware of the fact that there's a new restaurant coming to the building, so.
Correct, so
Can you
there's a
share
new restaurant coming in
information
at
about that?
1544 9th Street, and as part of that, we're proposing to do some outdoor seating to try to mirror and match most of the restaurants that are in the neighborhood. We've consulted with numerous parties in ANC and also others with the government and try to figure out how to make it mirror what everyone else is doing. We've agreed to put in certain buffers, a landscape buffer of a foot all the way around the space on the north and east sides, as well as a raised bed of 3 feet on the west side, which is closest to anything residential. You may or may not know, we're no longer parking on the site, so we're filling in the curb cut. That was part of our zoning modification, and we are also doing valet parking as well, so there's no impact to parking in the neighborhood.
And you're gonna be adding a black metal fence?
Black metal fence along the perimeter of it, multiple egress points for fire exits, and then the landscaping buffer. No permanent overhead or fixed features.
Commissioner Brown, any comments from the committee?
No, we went over the plan on Thursday, and the suggestions that we made, I think you've already agreed to.
Agreed to incorporate.
It's going to be one provision. This is formerly the Shaw Bijou, right at 90 here.
92? Yep, yeah, we're calling it 92.
Support your.
Thank you, appreciate it.
All right, this property is in my single-member district, and I'll move that NC6E support the public space application for the unenclosed cafe for French Quarter Brasserie and Oyster Bar at 1544 9th Street Northwest, and that we communicate that support to the Public Space Committee and the District Department of Transportation. And I'll ask for a second.
Seconded.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Any questions or comments from the community? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous. Thank you very much. Tropical Smoothie Cafe, 425 I Street Northwest. Is there a representative for Tropical Smoothie Cafe? We have a lot of people stuck in traffic today. We'll try to come back to them as well. Moving on to Bible Way Church. Do we have a representative? Great. So this is a request for support for Metropolitan Police Department parade permit for parade taking place on the 3rd of June. If you would be so kind as to identify yourself for the record.
My name is James Jenkins. I'm an associate pastor of the Outreach Bible Church. Two blocks away. And I don't have a copy of all, one copy of the list.
This was distributed electronically to members of the commission. So if you could just very briefly describe the event and the route that you'll be taking.
The event is it's a religious celebration of the church. We do annually. This will be the fourth year that we've had the parade. It's basically just a combination of celebration and the community outreach at the same time. Because as the parade progresses, we also pass out literature to the people in the community who are looking, pray for those who want prayer, and then we just complete the route and go back to the church grounds where we have open festivities that are open to anybody in the community who may want to come. Those festivities out on the grounds include things for the children, room bounces, face painting, the normal things you usually have for kids, and free food for any and everybody who comes. But it's all part of our celebration of the birthday of the church. Again, this would be the fourth year. We started the parade lineup in front of the church, normally around 12 o'clock noon. We started the session at 1 o'clock. Our plan this year was to go across New York Avenue, which we haven't done but once out of the 4 times that we've had it. And we want to go back again this year because we want to reach out to that community over there too, on the other side of New York Avenue. And we just want to go just from 1100 block of New Jersey Avenue where our church is located, which is basically right in the corner of New York Avenue. Just cross over and then go over to N Street and make a right on N Street, go down N Street, come back to First Street, come down First Street to K, okay, back, make a right on K, come back up to New Jersey, and from New Jersey and K, just go back into the church property, and that's when the festivities actually begin. That is the route. What's different in this year, what we proposed was different than this year, is that we will cross New Jersey, New York Avenue again, which you've only done one time. All the other routes have always stayed on New York Avenue, on the side of New York Avenue where our church is located. We wanted to try to reach out to